Oh, yeah. Is it Tuesday already? 1 week until Andor Season 2 premieres, and we have currently four and counting, leaked scenes for this premiere of Andor Season 2. One between Mon Mothma and Luthen, one between Luthen and some random person we don't know, another one between Cyril and Dedra, which is alluding to possibly a something happening between sheets. And then we have some other crazy stuff. A new Andor trailer has shown somebody getting tortured in this second season. And to top it all off, last night was the red carpet premiere, I guess, for Andor Season 2, and we got interviews up the wazoo for this second season of Andor. And even to top it all, the cherry on top, if you will, a new Star Wars game was revealed yesterday. Okay, we got a lot to get into and not a lot of time. So without further ado, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? Yeah, that's right, chat. Not only does the audio work today, but the camera works too. It's crazy. We're back. So yes, we have some insane stuff to get to from four leaked scenes for Andor Season 2, but also an insane amount of interviews from the cast and crew. Tony Gilroy, his brothers, who also worked on the show, Diego Luna, the girl who plays Bix, the girl who plays Mon Mothma, the guy who plays Saw Gerrera, the guy who plays Luther, the whole cast. We got interviews, we got leaked scenes, we got new trailers, we got so much to get into because Andor is in 7 days. 7 days. A week from right now, we will be getting hyped up to watch the premiere of Andor Season 2. And not only that, this might be the craziest week, the craziest 7 days of Star Wars all year, because Star Wars Celebration is in 3 days. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 18th to the 20th of April, is Star Wars Celebration. In 2 days, we might be watching the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. The first trailer for a Star Wars movie in over 6 years. It is quite literally the greatest time to be a Star Wars fan right now, and we have so much to get to today. So without further ado, let's say hi to everybody in the chat, shall we? Why did my chat go up over there? Okay, fix that. Holly, what is up? Rachel, how we doing? Lee in the house. Starship 66, what is up? Nathan, how we doing? Haja in the house. Adam, how we doing? Dustin Kennedy, what is up? Matthew, how we doing? Justin, what is up? 730 Evie, how we doing? Steve in the house. Mando United, what is up? Ficone, what is up? Melissa, how we doing? Carry on, what is up? Robert in the house. Your pal Joe, how we doing? Star Wars Order, what is up? WUV Grad, what is up? Okay. Darth Plagueis, how we doing? Holly, what's up? Okay, if I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
So there really is never a better way to start the stream than with super chats. And somehow, some way, we already have 3. So huge shout out for Darth Plagueis Lives for the very generous super sticker, although it is a poop emoji. A little confusing message there. But Darth Plagueis Lives also sends a $5 holla and says, hello there. 1 week until Andor. I know. I'm hyped up. And Holly with another generous $5 holla before the stream even started. You guys are absolutely insane. Says, I think the person being tortured could possibly be Dr. Gorst himself. He's wearing the same clothes that he wears in Season 1. Okay, interesting. We'll get to who's being tortured in just a bit. We have to sort of figure out where we're going to start here. I think we should start in one of two places. One, the trailer, the new trailer that we got, or two, the leaked scenes. I feel like the trailer is probably where we should start, but you guys tell me in the chat. Where should we start? But I appreciate the super chats. I really, really do. Super chats, memberships keep the lights on over here. So I appreciate it. Mike, I just got a... Wait, what? Mike, I just had knee surgery yesterday. Hope your stream will make my day. Well, I hope my stream will make your day too. I hope your knee surgery went well. Sounds like it did. Still standing or laying down. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. All right. Let's watch the trailer. Let's watch the trailer. That was horrible. Okay. This trailer dropped yesterday, I believe. So let's take a gander at this one. A trailer a day keeps the haters away, chat. We got another Andor Season 2 trailer. Let's check it out. Okay, let's watch this.
Emergency broadcast.
Can anybody
If you
hear?
can hear me, Imperial ships are already landing. Help us! Is there no one who can help us?
No, there's not. Okay, so there's a little bit. It's a very short trailer, only 26 seconds, but it does give us a lot of information. This lady who is pretty much screaming for help, calling out for help to Clea, or at least we're believing that she's calling out to Clea and Luthen at their gallery on Coruscant. She's calling out for help. Can anybody hear me? What I believe is going on here is this is the Gorman Massacre, and she is somebody who is calling for help because the Empire is just slaughtering these people. However, this gives even more evidence to back the claim or back the theory that Luthen and the rebellion have some sort of input on this massacre happening. They want it to happen. They want all of these innocent Gormans to die to show the rest of the galaxy that the Empire is evil. They're forcing the Empire's hand to do something crazy like murder innocent civilians so that the rest of the galaxy realizes how evil the Empire truly is. Now, Mon Mothma, after the Gorman Massacre, is going to call out Palpatine in the Senate, and everything's going to go crazy. But this trailer right here, this lady calling out for help, can anybody hear us? Can anybody come help? The answer is no. But the crazy part about it is that they're listening. There's a possibility that they could go help. Clea, Luthen, Andor, they technically have the ability to go help. But they're not going to because they need this to happen. It's dark. I get it. It's very, very dark. But it's necessary. So let's watch this again.
Emergency broadcast. If you can hear me.
So at the beginning here, Clea is listening to this. She's hearing this emergency broadcast, but they're not going to do anything about it.
Imperial ships are already landing.
So now we get a little bit more of the Gorman Massacre here. Flamethrowers going crazy.
Help us!
I don't know what this is.
Help us!
Something's getting blown up. It looks like it might be in the sky. K2SO right there. Looking all badass as ever. Okay, so this is the big question. Who is this? So one of the big theories running around right now is that it's Dr. Gorst. Dr. Gorst is the guy who created this technology, the technology of these crying creatures that make you go insane by just listening to them cry at a certain frequency. And he's the one who tortures Pac and Bix in season 1. So why is he being tortured by his own technology? What is going on here? Dr. McCreepy? Yes, Dr. McCreepy. Exactly. Why would he be getting tortured by his own technology in what looks to be an Imperial facility? What do we think, chat? Because what I think's going on here, and it's pretty damn crazy, is that when we see, and we're going to watch another trailer in a second, when we see Bix, when she's shooting the guy in one of these trailers, it'll be easier if I just show you. Okay, so in this trailer for Andor, one of the first ones that we got, I believe it's this one. Oh, wait. There's so many different trailers, chat. I believe it's this one. I think.
I came with you to be part of something.
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's this one. One sec. The monster will come for us all. Maybe it's not this one. Hang on. Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it was the first one.
We must stand together. We will be crushed.
Hang on, chat. Hang on. I'll get there. Yeah, it was the first one. The original trailer. It's right here. this. Whoops. Go ahead. This. So this is Bix as she is breaking into some sort of Imperial facility, blasting her way in and or out. Get it? And or out of the Imperial building. And she's blasting her way in or out. I think this is Bix and Cassian helping her, of course, getting her revenge. Bix went through it in the first season. Like, absolutely went through it. She was tortured. She saw Tim die in front of her. Like, she really had a rough go of it. I think we're going to get a little bit of a Bix revenge in this second season. We're going to get to see her get back at the Empire, not just by being a rebel, but specifically to the people who hurt her, Dr. Gorst and probably Dedra as well. So when we see in this latest trailer, Dr. Gorst, or what looks to be Dr. Gorst, being tortured by the same machine that he used on Bix. What I think is really going on here is that Bix and Cassian broke into this Imperial facility on Coruscant, because we know that they are on Coruscant, and used his own technology against him, putting the Dr. McCreepy into this machine that he used to torture Bix and Pac in season 1 on him. The revenge, the greatness of revenge that Bix is going to have in this second season is going to be awesome. Now, the problem becomes Bix is not in Rogue One. So will she die or will she somehow survive but go off and do something else? Like characters like Harrison Dula or other rebels are not in Rogue One, but they still exist at the same time. They still survive. Sabine, Ahsoka, etc. Bix could be one of those characters that technically survives season 2, becomes a rebel, but isn't in the events of Rogue One. It would be a little strange because she's, of course, the love interest for Cassian, and her death would be a very meaningful one to him. But unlike a character like Luthen that pretty much has to die in season 2, Luthen has to die. Bix doesn't have to die. She can have a redemption arc in this second season, or not redemption arc, but you know what I mean? A revenge arc, if you will, where she somehow gets to Dr. Gorst and puts the same technology that was used on her on him, and then she gets her revenge on Dr. Gorst and hopefully Dedra as well. But also, she survives. She survives the season. It's possible. But this does, to me, look like Dr. Gorst is being tortured by his own technology, and Bix is the one, with the help of Cassian, who does it to him. They break into an Imperial facility and torture the guy who tortured her. Revenge. What a great thing. But that's what I think's going on here. And it's really crazy that they threw this in the trailer. Again, as just one short little second. That's it. But they do throw it in there to get you thinking. This guy's being tortured? Well, I guess nobody is safe in this second season.
Is there no one who can help us?
And there is no one who can help us. And this is almost like Cassian turning his back on the people who need help.
Is there no one who can help us?
Because Cassian's going to be there. Cassian's going to be at the Gorman Massacre. He could technically help, but I don't think he's going to. Because the rebellion really needs the Empire to do something crazy, to really force the hand of the rest of the galaxy to see the Empire as the bad guys. So that's what I think this trailer is showing us. Not only Bix getting her revenge on Dr. Gorst, but the people on Gorman are going to be pleading for their lives.
Emergency broadcast.
And nobody's going to help them. This second season is going to be dark. I know the first season was dark, but this season's going to be even more dark. Like people just getting absolutely massacred by the Empire and nobody's there to help. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely insane. Yeah. Oh, we got another super chat. Hang on. I Hodja with a very generous $2 holla. I appreciate that. I Hodja says, the revenge of the Bix strikes back. I love it. I love it. And I hope she does because she deserves it after being tortured so horribly in the first season. Yeah. If anybody deserves a revenge, it's Bix at this point. Yeah. But maybe she dies after. I don't know. Okay. But that was the newest trailer. Again, a trailer a day keeps the haters away when it comes to Andor. But let's take a look at... Wait, what? Well, let's take a look at these leaked scenes, if you will. Obviously, they were leaked by Disney themselves, but they're still leaked nonetheless because they aren't posting them themselves. So we have 4 scenes here. We got one at the farm with Bix and Brazos. We got one with Mon Mothma and Luthen. We got one with Luthen and Cassian, and then we have one with Cyril and Dedra. Which one do you guys want to watch first? There's 4 of them. I guess we should just start. Yeah, let's start with the farm. Let's start with Bix and Brazos at the farm, shall we? Oh, you want to start with the Dedra one? Okay, we'll start with the I mean, if you guys want to start with the Dedra one, we'll start with the Dedra one. In order that you said? Okay. All right, we're going to start in the order that I said. We're going to start with this 1-minute clip from Bix and Brazos on the farm in what people still think is Lothal, but I don't think it is. So this is the farm that we see from the trailer, and this guy is coming to warn them that some bad guys are coming. Take a look at this.
How's it going?
We're getting there.
I spoke to my friend at 500. She thinks they'll finish his...
Hang on, Chad. For some reason, it's really quiet. This is the loudest the volume gets. Let me try and turn it up over here. Try it again.
How's it going?
We're getting there.
I spoke to my friend at 500. She thinks they'll finish inspecting up there today. Where they go next should tell us what direction they're moving, but...
How many are there?
On the ground, she counted about 40. We don't know what they have in the air.
What if they come this way?
Look, they need the grain. They know we need help, and they know everyone isn't legal. How hard they look, what they do. It's been 10 years since the last audit. Nobody's happy.
Talia thinks they'll let us slide.
We can't count on that.
What if they ask where we came from?
I wouldn't mention Ferrix.
What if we stay ahead of them?
I'd be careful. They caught someone running at 500. I'll find out what I can. Cassian.
You'll be here.
They have it. That's the whole scene. So pretty much what's going on here is this guy's coming to warn them that the Empire's on their way. This guy right here. He's coming to warn them that the Empire's on their way. And what's really cool about this is they're farmers, and they're actually farming wheat for the Empire. But now they're coming to, I guess, check the lands for people who aren't supposed to be there, if you will. And he says, don't mention Ferrix, because obviously Ferrix is where all the craziness went down in season 1. There's no going back to Ferrix. That's for damn sure. But the promise and hope of Cassian coming is very interesting here. Bix thinks that Cassian is on his way right now. And we actually know from the trailers that he is on his way. He just stole a TIE Avenger to get there. But it doesn't look like he's going to get there on time. He's going to be late to the party. And Bix and Brazos and Pax's son, Willman, they're going to have to fight for themselves. And they're going to have to fight back against the Empire, which is not going to be a good thing. Could lead to some death or separation at least. B2 is here. Brazos is there. We know that Bix eventually ends up going off with Cassian to join the rebellion and go off and do other missions, but Brazos does not. Brazos, B2, and the kid, they do not. So what happens here? This is most likely going to be in the first 3 episodes that happen next week. This is going to be very important. They're just farmers. They found their place to be away from the Empire, and yet the Empire still finds them when they're on the run. So that's pretty cool. Yes, this planet is not Lothal from what we're hearing. It is probably a new planet. And just like Andor Season 1, we're going to be introduced to a bunch of new planets, this being one of them. But Ferrix was a new planet. Like we got a ton of new planets in Season 1. Don't be surprised when we get a lot more new planets in Season 2. Star Wars is a big galaxy. There's new planets out there. That's why we don't keep getting the same planets over and over and over and over again. But this is the first leaked scene, if you will. Hang on, we got a super chat. I got a super chat. Hodger with a very generous $5 holla. Oh my God, you guys are feeling extra generous today. I appreciate it. It says, Mike, do this in Sigonia, a.k.a. Sigonia Weaver's voice from Alien, please. Get away from her, you Bix. Okay, I'm going to put a pause on that. Hodger, I'll do that later, okay? I promise. But let's get to these leaked trailers because we're focused on them right now. Okay, so that's the first one. And that's pretty cool. It's setting up something crazy to happen with the Empire and Bix and Brazo and all that stuff. But the next 3, I think, are a lot better. And that's why I sort of started with that one. I'm going to save this one next. So we're going to go to the one with Luthen and Cassian first, okay? Go to the one with Luthen and Cassian. It's only 5 seconds long, so that's why we're going to it next.
I came with you to be part of something. I give you everything!
Very quick. But this does show us that they are on Coruscant right here, as you can see in the background. Luthen does have his longer wig on here.
I came with you to be part of something. I give you everything!
So, although it's only 5 seconds, we can get a lot from this one line from Cassian. Luthen seems pretty upset here.
I came with you to be part of something. I give you...
And Cassian's obviously upset. It almost seems like to me, Luthen is either not giving up here, but he's almost admitting his own defeat. Like he's already a dead man walking. Like he knows he's eventually going to make a sacrifice to further the rebellion, but it looks like he's almost already done that. And he's telling Cassian his plan here. And that's why Cassian's so upset about it. He's like, I joined you to join this rebellion. I gave you everything. I gave you my whole life. I gave it to you, buddy. And now you're just going to quit on me like this? Like, I feel like that's what's going on here. Luthen looks upset, but he looks like he's already made up his mind, like he's already a dead man.
I came with you to be part of something.
And they are on Coruscant. So what's really going on here, I don't know. But we assume that Luthen's a goner by the end of this season. Probably about a 99.9% chance he's going to die. And I think Luthen's telling Cassian this, and he's not going to be too happy about it.
I give you everything!
And they are on Coruscant, as you can see in the background right behind them. So Cassian, Luthen, Mon Mothma, Bix, all on Coruscant at the same time in the second season. I don't think that, does much at all. Mike, you going to be awake for Star Wars Celebration Japan? It's 3:19 here right now, a.m. Yeah. So, yes, this weekend's going to be absolutely insane. We're going to be pulling a lot of all-nighters. If you are here in the United States, then you'll see that, yes, it is. The panels go from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Japan. So for us here, that is 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So you're going to have to stay up all night to watch all the panels for Star Wars Celebration. Yes, it's going to be insane, but, you do what you have to do. You do what you got to do, Chet. We do what we have to do. But that's the second leaked scene. Let's get to the third one, because this third one's pretty wild. This is the Dedra one. So this one's about a minute long. Just we'll watch it all the way through, and then we'll take a look at it.
I was safe.
Just careful all the way.
I know. I had you followed. Party has insisted.
How long can I stay?
An hour.
Are you kidding? Do you think they're really watching Edie's apartment?
No, but we've put too much in now to have it go wrong for something so small.
An hour?
Turn out the lights.
Can't believe you had me followed.
Turn out the lights.
Okay. So, what's going on in this scene, chat? What's going on in this scene, chat? I don't know, but let's break it down, shall we? Okay, so Cyril, not eating cereal, shows up at the front door.
I was safe.
I was safe, is the first thing he says. He's assuring her that he wasn't followed. Who would be following him? Why would he be being followed? Why would he be being followed? Sure. Why would Cyril and Dedra be concerned about him being followed? Think about it. Let's keep going. This is the most awkward thing I've ever seen. I've ever laid my eyes on, chat. This is the most awkward thing I've ever seen. This whole interaction is so freaking weird. It's so weird.
I was careful all the way.
I know. I had you followed.
So he says I was careful all the way. And she says, I had you followed.
Partagas insisted.
Partagas insisted. Okay, so her boss insisted that the Empire insisted that Cyril gets followed? What's going on here? Why is the Empire so concerned that Cyril be followed? Not only that, her boss is following the guy who shows up to her house to, you know, do some stuff in the dark. In the dark, chat! And this is not the first time we got one of these scenes in Andor, even. Season 1 had Tim and Bix, you know, turn off the lights, if you will. But this scene is very strange. Not just the fact that it's really awkward and really strange and cringe and the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't even make sense. Like, why would Luthen be getting, Cyril, be getting followed? However, they only have 1 hour together. So hit the lights.
How long can I stay?
An hour.
Are you kidding? Do you think they're really watching Edie's apartment?
Do you really think they're watching Edie's apartment? So Edie is Cyril's mom, the supplier of the cereal and the blue milk. Who is watching him? Why are they watching him? Chat, I need answers. I need answers. Because he's not talking about the Empire, obviously. They work for the Empire. He's gotten a promotion, if you will. The rebels. Exactly. But why on earth would the rebels be looking for this guy? The guy who just sits there and eats cereal for no reason. What's the purpose, if you will? The Empire keeps the galaxy secure and safe. Okay, sure, I guess. Well, the ISB is protecting him.
No, but we've put too much in now to have it go wrong for something so small.
So he asks, are they watching my mom's apartment? And she says no. Or she says, do you really think that they're watching my mom's apartment? She says no, but we've put too much into it for something so small to take this out, to take us all out of it, to ruin it. What the hell are they talking about? I don't think this is going to be in the first 3 episodes. I think this is a scene from probably later on in the season. But listen to what's going on here.
How long can I stay?
An hour.
Are you kidding? Do you think they're really watching Edie's apartment?
No, but we've put too much in now to have it go wrong for something so small.
What are they talking about? They put too much into what? To have it have what go wrong for something so small?
An hour.
Turn out the lights.
Turn out the lights. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, enough of that. Close your eyes, chat. Close your eyes. However, the conversation they're having there is very interesting. What they're alluding to here, why would Cyril and Cyril's mom's apartment be being watched by the rebellion? And why would the Empire be so focused on that? Why would they care? It's very, very strange. Yes, weird. Turn out the lights scene, but there's a lot more going on in that scene that really brings up a lot of questions. Why would the rebellion care about the guy who eats cereal all the time? Like, I don't know. Something weird is going on here. Something very weird. Maybe it has to do with the Gorman massacre and the I guess the backlash of that. The rebellion's looking after Cyril because he's a survivor of the Gorman massacre. I don't know. Cassian and Bix, we just talked about, are on Coruscant. So maybe because they got to Dr. Gorst, now they have to protect Dedra. But why would they have to protect Cyril too? You know? Like, if the rebellion is truly on Coruscant and picking off Imperial employees like Dr. Gorst for revenge for Bix, and they're protecting Dedra because she was also in the room where they tortured Bix, how does Cyril have any involvement in that? That could be what we're looking at here, though, because the rebellion is growing stronger and Bix is now taking out, and Cassian along with her, is taking out people who wronged her, the people who tortured her. Then Dedra will be next on that list after Dr. Gorst, and maybe the Empire's just protecting her. That would make sense. But still, where does Cyril tie into all that? I don't know, chat. This one, for sure, is confusing. But it does give us even more information about the relationship. And yes, it is a relationship that we'll see between these two lovebirds. In season 2. Oh my god, it's so awkward. Okay, but the fourth and final leaked scene from this season is, I think, the coolest one.
Yes, I would have told you.
And this is Luthen and Mon Mothma at her daughter's wedding. Take a look at this.
You told me he'd stay away from Skolden. He's been pestering him since he arrived.
I know.
I warned you from the start.
I just can't believe it. I've known him my whole life.
People fail. That's our curse. What would have happened if I wasn't here? Would you have told me?
I'm meeting him next week. Yes, I would have told you. I'll warn him off. I'll find what it takes. I'll get a number.
You know the number. We'll be vulnerable forever. You need to be protected.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
How nice for you. You told me he'd stay away from Skolden.
So, this is where all chaos is going to break loose. The wedding. This is going to be the first 3 episodes. Mon Mothma's actress Genevieve did confirm this last night, and we're going to watch those interviews in a little bit. But this will be the first 3 episodes. This wedding, where you're going to see Luthen talking to Mon Mothma, and you're going to see Krennic being at that wedding as well. We're going to actually get to see all chaos just... It's going to be absolutely insane. Because all these different people, from the good guys to the bad guys, will all be in attendance at this wedding. And the outlash, or the backlash, I should say, of that is going to be astronomical. And Luthen here is telling her,
You told me you'd stay away from Skolden.
You'd stay away from Skolden. Who is Skolden, chat? Hang on, we got a super chat. Oh, Rose with a very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that quite a bit. Says, the Empire is watching Dedra and Cyril because of the debacle on Ferrix. They are the scapegoats. Yes, but I mean, yeah, I guess if they know that the rebellion is sort of fighting back against the people on Ferrix, like if Dr. Gorst truly does get tortured to death by Bix and Cassian, then yeah, you'd want to protect Dedra. But Cyril wasn't there as a Imperial employee. Like, he was just there to go help his one true love, Dedra. Like, he wasn't actually there to be there, you know? He was just there. That makes sense. So I get protecting Dedra, but Cyril, on the other hand, well, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. And their relationship is going to be so strange. But let's talk about it. Let's get back to this Luthen and Mon Mothma scene, shall we? Davos Skuldrin, yes, the thug. Thank you very much. Fearless, very generous, 13-month membership badge. Holy crap, that's insane. Okay, let's take a look at this stuff. So, Luthen is telling her you shouldn't have gotten involved with Davos. So Mon Mothma's pretty much pawning off her daughter to get married to Davos's son so they can fund the Empire. But Luthen is like, you shouldn't have done that, lady. You should have let me in on this one, lady. And this is pretty much the exact opposite of what happened in season 1. Because Luthen is like, oh, I did Aldani. And she's like, you should have told me about that. Well, let's watch this again.
You told me he'd stay away from Skuldrin. He's been pestering him since he arrived.
I know.
They've been pestering him since he arrived. The Empire, that is. Let's not forget, Krennic and the Empire will also be at this wedding. So a lot of information, if you will, could be let out.
I warned you from the start.
I just can't believe it. I've known him my whole life.
People fail.
She could be talking about Tay Colma there, because she's talking about knowing him her whole life. She didn't trust Davos at all, but she trusted Tay. Maybe Tay's the one who throws her under the bus? Possibly.
That's our curse. What would have happened if I wasn't here? Would you have told me?
So it seems like Luthen's going to almost talk their way out of this.
I'm meeting him next week. Yes, I would have told you. I'll warn him off. I'll find what it takes. I'll get a number.
You know the number. We'd be vulnerable forever. You need to be protected.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
How nice for you.
So Luthen's pretty much like, yeah, we're screwed thanks to you, lady. And she's like, I don't really know what you're saying. Like, what? It's almost like I feel like this wedding, just in terms of chaos, is going to be insane. Luthen is going to be almost the guy who keeps everything in check here at this wedding, with the Empire just there right in front of their frickin' faces. Krennic being there. The coolest thing about it is, we talked about it last stream, but Krennic's introduction in season 2 has to be an insane one. Okay? There has to be a great entrance for this character, because it's technically the first time we see him, because we see him in Rogue One, but this takes place before that. So it's his first appearance. And if that first appearance is at this wedding, and when he walks in the room, everybody like just stops and stares at him, or the music gets crazy, whatever it happens, if he knows what's going on the whole time, that would be awesome. It's like Thrawn walking into the room in Rebels and knowing everything about everything. If Krennic walks in the room and knows that something is afoot, this wedding is for a reason, because Davos is a thug and he just spends money and illegally transfers money like he's supposed to be doing for Mon Mothma, then it's going to get really weird really quickly, and things are not going to go the way that they think. And Luthen is seemingly going to have to keep this all together. But it's going to be chaos. This is going to happen in the first 3 episodes. This whole first arc, this Tuesday, next Tuesday, a week from today, when we get the 3-episode arc, this is going to be it. This scene will be in it, and what the backlash of this will be what's going to be felt throughout the rest of the series. Why the Empire doesn't trust Mon, why she might actually get run out of Coruscant, is because of this. The reason that she might not have the ammunition to fight back against the Empire, to really stay in the Senate and fight from a Senate position, is because of this. They're going to find out, the Empire's going to find out that she's smuggling this illegal money to fund the rebellion, and now she has nothing. Nobody's going to trust her anymore. None of the senators are going to trust her. None of the people are going to trust her, because she is the one funding the rebellion. And that's why she's going to have to go on the run. Not only because she's going to call out Palpatine for the massacre on Gorman, but also because she's funding the rebellion. And that's what this scene is pretty much telling us here. That chaos is going to erupt at this wedding when Luthen finds out that she's marrying her daughter off to Davos' son, and when the Empire arrives with Krennic and they start asking questions.
You told me he'd stay away from Skuldrin. He's been pestering him since they arrived.
I know.
I warned you from the start.
I just can't believe it. I've known him my whole life.
People fail. That's our curse. What would have happened if I wasn't here? Would you have told me?
I'm meeting him next week. Yes, I would have told you. I'll warn him off. I'll find what it takes. I'll get a number.
You know the number. We'd be vulnerable forever. You need to be protected.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
How nice for you.
So that actually brings up another point. The protection that he's offering her, the protection that he's saying that she needs, might be Cassian and maybe Bix, but mostly Cassian. Because in the last trailer that we watched on Saturday's live stream, we saw Cassian helping Mon Mothma escape Coruscant. And that might be because Cassian is almost the bodyguard, the protector of Mon Mothma, if you will, after this happens. Because Luthen says, you need protection, or else we're screwed. Because if the Empire arrests Mon Mothma and starts interrogating Mon Mothma, and she starts spewing stuff, she knows who Luthen is, she knows the entire operation of the rebellion, she would just give up everything. They would be doomed. So she needs protection, and that might be Cassian, and that's why we see Cassian helping her escape Coruscant in that latest trailer from Saturday's live stream. Absolutely. Oh, we got another super chat. $5 haul from Star Wars Santa. I appreciate that. Says super chat to never ever show Cyril and Dedra sharing a special moment together again. Okay, Santa, I'll try my best. It is very awkward, to say the least, watching it anyway. But we have 4. Is there a 5th one? Somebody was saying that I've missed one. Did I miss one of the leaked things? I don't know. If you find another one, send it to me, chat.
Since they arrived.
I know.
This is the same one.
Start.
I just can't believe it. I've known him my whole life.
People.
Yeah, that's the same scene. Okay. But even still, we are 1 week away from this Andor season 2, and we're still getting new scenes, new trailers, new posters, new everything every single day, because they know that they have a huge win on their hands with this show. Like, they absolutely know that this is going to be a massive success. The first season was critically acclaimed, and they got some insane stuff going with the second season. The fact that it covers 4 more years, and it's only going to be straight killer and no filler, if you will, because a lot of people called the first season and bore and complained about the just nonsensical things about the first season. I think season 2 is not going to have any of that. We've already set the stage with season 1, so season 2 is just going to be all straight, incredible, action-packed greatness. And that's what these first couple scenes are showing us. Now, granted, these are all sort of slow scenes, if you will, but they're setting the stage. They're all likely to be in the first couple episodes, except for maybe the Dedra and Cyril one will be later on in the season. But even still, they all happen very early on at the wedding, at the Gorman Massacre, wherever. And it's going to set the stage for quite the great second season. Yeah. There's a clip with Cassian and a female pilot. Oh, yes. Sorry. I don't have that one, though. Hang on. So, yeah. Cassian and the female pilot. Can somebody send that to me? Send it to the Discord or something? Please and thank you. Yeah. That is one, too. I forgot about that one. That is also true. But with that, we had the premiere, I guess, the red carpet event last night for this Andor season 2. And we have like just an absolute insane amount of interviews and clips from it. Look at this. Boom, boom. All these are interviews that we're about to watch. All of them give us some pretty damn cool information about the second season. And then that's a new show, but we'll talk about that too. Interviews, all this cool stuff, and that Ahsoka stuff too, we'll talk about. So, first of all, let's take a look at this. This is the cast and crew that was there last night. We got Saw Gerrera all the way off the left, Dedra, Tony Gilroy, who's the showrunner, Andor, Bix, Mon Mothma. Who is that? I have no idea who that is. And then Cyril on the end. Who is that right there? That character right there. Do we know, Chad? I have no idea. But, oh, is it Val? Is Val? Oh, maybe it is, yeah. Can't really tell. You can barely see her face. Okay, but let's take a look at some of these interviews. So first, let's start with a big reveal coming.
Is there anything you can tease?
A big reveal coming for Saw Gerrera. Yeah, that's right. Saw Gerrera, big reveal.
I saw some fans speculating online after watching the trailer for season 2 that there might be a big reveal coming about your character. Is there anything you can tease?
I can't say anything about it. There is a big reveal. I can say that. So it is.
I saw some fans speculating on.
So we can't say much about it, but there's a big reveal coming for Saw Gerrera. How is that even possible? We know where Saw Gerrera actually ends up in Rogue One. He's one of the few characters in this Andor second season where we know where their story ends. And that is on Jeddah, where he dies to the Death Star. So what is this big reveal that's coming for Saw Gerrera? He gets mauled. Well, we do know that he gets, of course, beaten up because in Rogue One, he's on that sort of oxygen tank thing and he is beaten up. Yeah, for sure. But what could a big reveal for Saw Gerrera's character even be? Like, what's this massive reveal coming for him? Holy crap, we got another super chat. $10 holla from Darth Plagueis Lives. Holy crap. Says, these scenes are incredible. Yeah, they are. Did you see all the interviews from last night? Yes. That's what we just started watching. What? Yes, I did. But I appreciate the super chats. I really, really do. Maybe it was a delayed super chat. I don't know. But I appreciate it. Okay. So what could this big reveal for Saw Gerrera actually be? It must be how it shows how he gets his injuries. But how could that be a big reveal? Like, what could happen to Saw Gerrera that would make it a huge reveal as how he got his injuries? Some people were saying Vader, which would be insane. I don't think it's Vader. Okay, Vader would be crazy. I know, Vader would be awesome. Vader looks like he's force choking Dedra in the trailer, but no, I don't think it is. I honestly think, in the best theory I've heard so far, I don't even know where I heard it. I might actually even come up with it myself. I don't know. Too many theories going around. But it was that Luthen dies on some sort of mission with Saw Gerrera, and Saw Gerrera survives. He gets mangled up, he gets mauled, but he survives, and Luthen just dies. So he doesn't get the benefit of surviving. If it was Maul, it would be insane. I mean, if it was Vader, not Maul. If it was Vader, it would be absolutely insane, but I don't think so. Let's put this up in a poll, actually. Just checking. Do you think Darth Vader will be in Andor Season 2? Yes or no? Yes or no? And by the way, if you haven't smashed a freaking like on the stream, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Go do that. Saw is going to be battered. Ready for Andor? I reckon that Luthen maybe dies in the same event, saving Saw Gerrera. That would be pretty interesting. I don't feel like they're friends like that, though. That wasn't really given off in the first season that much, you know? No way. Dedra is having a panic attack. No way that Dedra is having a panic attack. That must be force choke. Well, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Krennic's involvement in all of this, like the fact that he's interrogating Dedra in that scene from the trailer, is very strange. Like, if his involvement in interrogating Dedra, it's clear that whatever she was doing in the first season has caught the attention of the higher-ups. And those higher-ups are Krennic, are Tarkin, are Vader. So if it catches the eye of Krennic, well, then it's not that far off from catching the eye of Palpatine or Vader. And that's why Krennic being involved so heavily as the bad guy of the show could lead to seeing Vader or Palpatine. Absolutely. Yeah. But some big reveal for Saw Gerrera, because even though Saw is in a lot of the trailers, he's not really connected to certain aspects of the story that we know. He's not going to be at Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding, at least I don't think so. He's not going to be the Gorman Massacre from what we've seen, because Cassian's there, Cyril's there, Dedra might be there, but Saw is nowhere to be seen. So Saw, although he's in a lot of the trailers, his relevance in season 2 has yet to be revealed. We don't know what he's doing in season 2. We don't know his purpose in all this. He's like Rey, he's trying to find his purpose in all this, but that purpose is clearly going to be a big reveal. And I don't know what that big reveal will be, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Now we have, this is Tony Gilroy. We have a couple Tony Gilroy clips, but this one is Tony Gilroy talking about Andor and working on Andor for the last 10 years.
This character.
He talks about how there was 2 directors working on the 2 episodes in the fields. From what we know, each arc in this season is by the same director. So it must be from 2 separate arcs that that farm planet exists. So it might not be the case that Bix and Brazo and B2, they might not escape the farm until later on in the season. So we might be seeing the farm for at least 4 or 5 episodes. Not only does he say this might be the most important thing he's ever done in his career, but also they made 8 movies in 5 years. That's what Andor is. The first season is 4 movies, 3 episode arcs the whole way. You have the first arc with sort of setting up the story, Cassian, the whole stuff with Luthen on Ferrix and Cyril and hunting him down and all that stuff. The second arc is Aldhani. The third arc is Narkina 5, One Way Out. And the final arc is Marva's speech and the fight on Ferrix. Those are 4 movies. Now coming into season 2, it looks way more like a 4-movie series, as we got the quadrilogy. 4 weeks. That's it. 4 weeks. 4 movies every single week for 4 weeks. So they made 8 Star Wars movies. 8. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Miguel, what's up? How we doing?
That's how we think of it. So
there you have it. That's from Tony Gilroy himself. The greatest thing he's ever done in his career. Pretty damn cool. All right, now we get into sort of the actors and actresses as they start to talk about the hype for the show. And this is the perfect one. So we got this is my favorite interview moment of the entire night. This is Ben Mendelsohn, of course, who plays Krennic. Take a look at this.
You know, Tony's like, and he brings the, you know, Tony's like, and he brings the.
Yeah. So he says Tony Gilroy is like punching his hand. He's like, and he brings the. So what I found really cool about this red carpet thing was, and I didn't know this, Tony Gilroy has 2 brothers, and all 3 of them worked on season 2. All 3 of them helped write this second season of Andor, which is awesome because the more the merrier. And when you're writing 4 movies, it helps to have more than one writer. But geez, the genes of the Gilroy brothers must be pretty damn strong.
Courage of a collective.
Oops. This is Mon Mothma, or Genevieve, but she plays Mon Mothma.
This show is so beloved by.
So the question pretty much is, why is Andor so good? Why has it resonated with the Star Wars fandom so well? Now, as she answers this, you guys tell me in the chat, why do you think Andor itself has resonated so well with the Star Wars fandom? Is it because it's so different? Is it because it doesn't have the Force, doesn't have lightsabers? Is it because the writing? What makes it stand out amongst the rest? Because when you look at the other Star Wars projects, I mean, to me, Ahsoka is the best, but you got The Mandalorian, which is fan-freaking-tastic. You got animated projects like Star Wars Rebels, which are why does Andor stand out amongst the rest? Because it's so flipping good. Okay, let's see what could not have said it better myself. This is why Andor is so great. It feels like a very, very small, grounded story about Cassian Andor, with different aspects, of course, Mon Mothma's story and Luthen's story and all these other people. But it's a grounded story about Cassian Andor, literally just a normal guy in the Star Wars universe. And he goes on this incredible journey from the start, where we see him kill those 2 Morlana 1 officers by accident, to where we see him die on the beaches of Scarif. And in that journey, it's just one simple dude making his way in this galaxy. And it's so epic, as she puts it. It's this incredible story told about the rebellion and the Empire and this massive struggle for power in the galaxy. But it's really just about this one guy. And that's what makes this show so damn good. It's so small in scope, yet so large in its reality, because in the terms of Star Wars, the story is tiny. It's nothing. It is nothing. You are nothing, as Kylo Ren would say. But it's so important because we don't need it. Andor is not a necessary show. We don't need to see this story at all. But it's so damn good, so well written, that everybody loves it. Everybody who watches it loves it, I should say. And everybody's a very blanket, broad statement. I know that not everybody loves it, but everybody loves it. Exactly. Epic and intimate. The greatest description. Yeah. But that's how Mon Mothma describes it. She also says this. We have another piece from her. Yeah.
On set, like, what was your last day?
Last day on set and her favorite day on set. And this actually gives us the information about when this show is going to see Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding. So take a look at this. So she's talking about the wedding and the big dance scene that we see from the trailer. And she's saying how this happens at the end of episode 3.
A big sequence at the end of episode 3.
This big dance sequence that happens at the end of episode 3, meaning the entire wedding will take place in the first 3 episodes. And the backlash from that wedding, the fact that the Empire and the Rebellion are both there at the same time, Luthen and Krennic there at the same time, it's going to be everything. Because the Empire is going to be onto her, and the reason for this wedding actually happening is to just fund the Rebellion, and the Empire is going to be aware of that. Krennic is going to be aware of that. And that is going to be playing throughout the entire course of season 2. But it will kickstart the first season. The first arc, if you will. First mini season. The first movie of the quadrilogy, chat. The first movie of the quadrilogy. But that's her favorite moment. And it was the second to last day on set. And it proves to us that, yes, we will be getting that in the first 3 episodes. The wedding will be the first 3 episode arc for characters like Luthen, Mon Mothma, and Krennic. What Cassian and Bix and the others are up to during that first 3 episodes, I don't know. Maybe it's the Gorman Massacre. Maybe they're saving that for later on in the season. I have no idea. But Luthen and Mon Mothma and Krennic will all be at that wedding in the first arc of the season. Now, we have heard this before. We've talked about it before. The actress for Bix has said that this second season is better than season 1. And I think so too. I think the second season has the opportunity to be a lot better than season 1. Not that season 1 is bad by any means, but I think it has the opportunity to be so much better than season 1 in scope because it's covering more time, but also in terms of action and relevant events to the rest of the galaxy. Because yes, Aldhani is sort of important to the rebellion, of course. It's their, I guess, coming out party to the rest of the galaxy. But Narkina 5 specifically, and I guess the stuff that happens on Ferrix, is very geared towards Cassian himself. Like, it's him going to prison. It's his mom dying. All the show is pretty much geared around his specific character. In season 2, it's going to be more about the broader galaxy and how, yes, it's about him specifically, but how he affects the greater galaxy and the rebellion itself. Yeah. Now, she doubles down on this, saying that this second season is so much better than the first. Take a look at this.
Fighting for.
Before we get to that, I don't think she's wrong here. Does anybody think she's wrong? Do you not think that season 2 is going to be even better than season 1? Because I think she's spot on here. I think this second season will be way bigger and better than the first season. And like she even mentions, they didn't really know what they were getting into here in the first season. They didn't know what they had, and now they do. And they can really expand upon that a lot more in this second season. Yeah. Exactly. In the words of Captain Jack Sparrow, weddings, I love weddings. Drinks all around. Oh, okay. Sure. Can I get some good cuts follow orders in the chat, please? Bumpa. Okay. So, with that being said, let's keep going.
For justice, that's really at the heart of this show. Do you feel like it's especially relevant right now?
Yes, and I think it will.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let's preface the question again.
That's really at the heart of this.
You know, they're really.
This is a part of the reason as to why this show is going to be such a dramatic, I guess, success. The actors and actresses are saying all the right things, literally all the right things. The question is very, I guess, clickbaity, if you will. The question asked is, this show is all about justice and whatever. Does that pertain to today? Obviously trying to get some sort of answer out of her that's like, yeah, of course it is. Like, today sucks, whatever. But the answer is so spot on. She's like, yes, of course today, and 5 years ago, and 10 years ago, and 100 years ago, and forever, and in the future too, because that's what Star Wars is all about. That's what George Lucas set out to do. That's what Tony Gilroy sets out to do. They're setting up stories that you see time and time again throughout the history of the world, all over the place. And they'll happen again in the future, and they're happening right now all over the place, because that's what it's all about. Star Wars is teaching us the lessons of the real world in this galaxy far, far away. Now, for some people, it just goes whoop right over their head. But this is they're saying all the right things. The media team, or the I guess the HR department over at Lucasfilm, is really on top of things when it comes to this show, because these actors and actresses are literally saying all of the right things every single time. And this is the perfect answer to that question. It's a clickbaity question. Absolutely it is. They want her to say something that will get them clicks online, but she says the exact right thing here. Not giving them the answer that they want, but the answer that they deserve to hear, because that's what Star Wars is. It's something that pertains to now, it pertains to 20 years ago, it pertains to 100 years ago, and it will pertain to 100 years in the future. Star Wars is not going anywhere. That's why after 50 years, 48 years, we're still watching it and talking about it, because all the way back in 1977, George Lucas set up this galaxy that so perfectly represents what happens now and in the past, in the real world, yet with aliens and the Force and lightsabers and an empire and a rebellion and all this crazy stuff. But it pertains so much to the real world that it will live on forever. It will pertain today, it will pertain 10 years ago, and it will pertain 10 years in the future. And that's the genius of it. That's the genius of Andor, and that's the genius of the original trilogy. That's the genius of Star Wars in general. The reason it will never die, it will never go away, the reason that we're still waiting for the next 11 movies and the next 11 shows is because of this right here. Because of what Bix says. And it is the perfect answer. Perfect. And as we go on with all these interviews, we're going to get to Diego Luna and all the other creators. Just listen to their answers, because they are perfect. It's crazy. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Now this one, does anybody in the chat know who this guy is? Does anybody in this chat know who this guy is? Why is this guy getting interviewed at the red carpet for Andor Season 2? Chat? Chat? Baby Kylo Ren? No. He does kind of look like Kylo Ren, though. No, not baby Kylo Ren. Looks like Adam Driver. Maybe. Maybe. Yes. New character. This is a new character. This guy is named Benjamin Norris, and he's going to play a new character in Andor Season 2. So we sit here and we talk about what we think's happening in Season 2 with the Gorman Massacre and Mon Mothma's daughter's wedding, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be new characters. Think about Season 1. Season 1 gave us the whole crew for Aldhani, who died except for Cinta and Vel. The whole Narkina 5 arc crew that all died except for Melshi and maybe Kino Loy if he comes back. But there's going to be new characters in Season 2. There has to be. And this is one of them. And one of the most important ones, as he is clearly at the red carpet premiere, and he's even getting interviewed. Now the question is, who is he going to be playing? obviously the answer is young Kylo Ren, but that can't be possible because the timeline does not work that way. He cannot be playing a young Kylo Ren, although he does look strangely like Adam Driver, and Kylo Ren, who of course is played by Adam Driver. But no, he is not Kylo Ren. But who could he be playing? A good guy, a bad guy? We have no idea. But he is a new character nonetheless. And he's asked about joining the Star Wars universe. So let's take a look at this.
Do you remember what your first day on set was like, stepping into the world for the first time?
Yeah, great question. We did very intense rehearsals leading up to it. But I remember the moment I stepped onto the actual set for the first time. We visited set, and it's a 360 set, so everything was real. There was no green screen or anything. So once you step foot onto it, you were transported to a different planet, even though it was in London, and it was very special.
Another reason why fans love this show so much. Andor goes away from the volume and the green screens, and they do practical effects. Sort of what Star Wars was supposed to be back in the day, but of course George Lucas loved to up the technology, and in this prequel trilogy created all these green screen technology. But Andor goes back to its roots. It goes back to the really physical stage, the actual physical props and all this stuff. And like he said, it's a 360 stage. You walk onto the stage and you're completely immersed into the world. And that's a little thing. Obviously, CGI is really good nowadays and the volume is great. But to an extent, you can feel the realness, especially in Andor, of the surroundings. When you're on Ferrix in season 1, it feels like a very lived-in place. You feel like you're in the world of Star Wars. And that's true for the majority of other projects as well. But Andor pulls it off in such a great way with these practical sets. And it'll be very interesting to see who young Benjamin Kylo Ren Norris will be playing in season 2. But, this one's pretty interesting. Should we touch on this now? Yeah, sure. Why not? So the question is asked, Kathleen Kennedy is rumored to be stepping down from the role as CEO of Lucasfilm. So, of course, we're at genius answer, first of all. But his response is pretty much like, I don't know if that's real or whatever. I'm sure he was vetted on this. I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy's retiring anytime soon, but she's definitely getting a replacement in place so that she can usher in the next person, if you will. And well, he's asked if he would take the role. Because so many people want it to be Tony Gilroy. I think people sort of underestimate what this role actually is because he's a writer, not a CEO of a company. But honestly, I agree with him. I don't think he'd be a great candidate to run Lucasfilm. Like, you're talking about a CEO of a company, not a writer. So even when people say like Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau, now Jon Favreau is a little bit different, but Dave Filoni, like, Dave is a great writer. He's a great creative. We don't want him being the CEO of a company. Like, we don't want him doing all the business side of things over at Lucasfilm. So Tony Gilroy is the same thing. Like, you want him writing. You don't want him doing business things, and I'm sure he doesn't even want to do that either. So when it comes to looking for the future CEO of Lucasfilm, it's not going to be Tony. It's not going to be Dave. It's just not. But it could be a creative and a business person, like the co-CEOs over at DC with James Gunn and Peter Safran. But even that, I still don't think Tony Gilroy is probably the best option there. Dave Filoni's probably a better one slightly. But tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. We'll see. But Tony Gilroy definitely doesn't seem to want the job. That's for damn sure. Yeah. That's for damn sure. Okay. So here's what I was talking about earlier. This is Tony Gilroy's brother, John Gilroy. Yeah, that's right. And we're going to get later to his other brother, Dan Gilroy. But this is John Gilroy. All three of them worked on this Andor second season. And he's asked about how Andor season 2 is going to change the way that we watch Rogue One. Take a look at this.
Diego has said that season 2 makes Rogue One a different film for fans. How do you think it does that?
It gives you context that you didn't have before. And Rogue One worked on its own. It was but now if you see season 1 and see season 2, everything's going to be more poignant and more impactful.
Diego has said that.
I mean, he's not wrong. we already, after just the first season of Andor, see Rogue One in a completely different light. So now when you add in season 2, and who knows what the hell's going down in season 2, it's going to change completely how we watch the movie of Rogue One. It might even change the way we look at A New Hope. Maybe not. Maybe. Depends on who shows up, I guess. If Vader's in Andor season 2, then yes, of course it changes that. And even if Palpatine is too. But the Death Star itself is almost a character in season 2 of Andor, and that, of course, plays a huge role in A New Hope. But the movie, Rogue One, will be changed drastically by the events of the second season. And that's what John Gilroy says here. Then he's asked about, okay, this 3-episode arc thing. The fact that this show is going to come out in a quadrilogy, only 4 weeks instead of 12 weeks of Andor. Why is that? We get an answer from this same question from Dan Gilroy as well, but let's listen to John explain it.
Now, this season is being released in 3-episode blocks. How did you guys come to that decision, and why do you think that benefited this season?
Well, there was a practicality of not wanting to, it takes 2 years almost to do a season, so we would have been, old men by the time this thing came out to the 5 years. But it's actually great because it accelerating the back end. It adds an urgency to the story that really plays in well. It's very satisfying. I think people are going to really like it.
So here's why I think they're really doing this. This whole 3-episode arc thing, it has to work so much better in terms of storytelling. Because when you look back at the way we watched the first season of Andor, it was every week we got one episode. Every once in a while we got a couple episodes doubled up. But we got one episode. And it was slow. That's why they called it Andor. That's why people were really crapping on the show, because it was a slow burn, if you will. So definitely a slow start, but a slow burn. And that was a week to week to week thing. Now that we're getting 3 episodes a week, and that 3 episodes are one arc, it's going to feel a lot quicker, and it's not going to have that slow burn effect, and it's not going to feel like Andor. Hopefully that will go away. But it will definitely feel a lot quicker, and because it's 1 year gap in between each arc, it will hopefully work in a very satisfying way, as he puts it. But tell me in the chat, do you like this release schedule? Only 4 weeks of Andor when we could be getting 12 in a year for Star Wars, where we thought we weren't getting many other projects. Because when you look at last year, we had Bad Batch Season 3, Tales of the Empire, The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, 4 major Star Wars projects in 1 year. This year, well, Tales of the Underworld was just announced, but it's Andor and Tales of the Underworld. Vision Season 3, but that's like Tales of the Underworld, all released on one day. That's it. So in a year where you have very little Star Wars content, I guess, wouldn't you want to expand the release schedule of your one big show instead of dwindle it down to only 4 weeks? Tell me in the chat. It's unusual, but I think I like it. Okay. I love it. Okay. Dumb move by Disney to release it in just 1 month. First 2 episodes, I stream 2, 3, 4, the third day before next week's episode. Hang on, you lost me for a sec. You lost me. Yeah. With the old schedule, it would last till like mid-July. Now season 2 ends in the first couple weeks of May. Yeah. It's almost 2 months shorter. It's crazy. Yeah. Of course, I want to see it sooner, but we will miss the 10 weeks of speculation. Yeah, I mean, from a personal standpoint, from a selfish channel perspective, this is horrible. But when you take that out of it, it does seem very cool. I mean, there's so many people that just want all the episodes to drop at once so they can binge it all in one night. A lot of people think that way. I like the speculation in between episodes, and now that it's going to be almost like a year gap in between episodes, the speculation is going to get even crazier. Because we're not just spending our time in a slow burn story. We're actually only hitting the highlights. So every single episode is just going to be the craziest stuff that happens in that year. That's it. So our speculation can really go through the roof because we're only hitting the craziest stuff to happen in said year. So it might actually make it even crazier for our speculations and theories and all that stuff. Yeah. I like trying this dope style. A year, a week is so much fun. True, I'll give you that. But to me, just from a outside perspective looking in, it seems strange if they don't have something else set to release this year. That makes me believe that Star Wars Celebration, which is this weekend, is going to give us something, anything, that will be very, very soon. Hopefully this year. Maybe an animated show, maybe a live action show that they've been keeping a secret this whole time. More likely an animated one. But even still, some other season of television will be coming out by the end of 2025. I can almost guarantee it. Because at this point, you wouldn't do this release schedule for Andor if you didn't have something already planned. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Tales of the Underworld is your other major project of the year. You're going to release it at the same exact time? It comes out in the middle of Andor Season 2. So they must really have something for the later half of this year, or else why would you jam-pack all this stuff into like 2 weeks? Because for the next month, from here till mid-May, everything is coming out. Star Wars Celebration, Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary re-release into theaters, Andor Season 2, Tales of the Underworld, all of that is within the next 4 weeks. And then after that, nothing. As far as we're aware, absolutely nothing for the rest of the year. So they must have something in place, or else they wouldn't do this. Yeah. But that is John Gilroy talking about it. Now let's get to Dan Gilroy. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. This is what Dan Gilroy has to say about it. The release schedule, that is. So this is Dan Gilroy.
And Tony originally conceived the show as 5 seasons, but why do you think it's right to end it with 2 seasons?
Well, I think we've managed to put everything you would have done in 5 seasons into this season. Each block is a year, and I think each so we have 4 blocks. It would have been 4 years. The show is always intended to end right when Rogue One starts. So I think it's a very natural way to do it. I think it's elegant in a way, and I think the three episode blocks are going to work really well because I've sort of watched them that way, and I think it's working.
There you go. It's elegant in a way. It works in that way. Exactly. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're going to get to watch it in this way where there's a year in between. But it was supposed to be a season of television. Like the first 3 episodes was supposed to be an entire season. The next 3 episodes was supposed to be an entire season. It's now been dwindled down to just 3 episodes. Now, the release times for these episodes was released, and we talked about this last stream. The release, the run times, I should say, for the episodes have been released. If I can find it really quickly. I can't. Where the hell are these run times? So many trailers and stuff that oh, here we go. The run times were released 51 minutes, 44 minutes, 53 minutes. So right there you have already right there you already have what 2 hour and change ish amount of episodes. So you got 2 hours at least of television. That's a movie. But it's a short season, at least. So you're talking about having 2 hours and change every single week for 4 weeks. And it's a whole season dwindled down into 3 episodes with just the good stuff. And yeah, we have all the directors and stuff here too. So, the first 6 episodes are all directed by the same guy. And then it's another guy and then another guy. And here you have it. Tony Gilroy did the first 3 episodes, wrote the first 3 episodes. Mr. Willie Mon, who's now writing for Dawn of the Jedi, wrote the next 3 episodes. Dan Gilroy did the next 3, and Tom Bizzle, sure, wrote the final 3. There you have it. All right, let's get back to these interviews really quick. Oh, we got a super chat. 1 second. Master Beckham, what's up? The $5 hollow says, Mike, can you please do an impression of Vader force choking Dedra? Well, that doesn't really exist, but you were warned. What does he say? You were warned what mistakes would say? Oh, no. What does he say to Reva in Kenobi? I don't know. Catherine, what's up? But I appreciate the super chat. I really, really do. Yeah. Mike, do the new games stuff. Oh, we'll get to the game stuff. I want to get through these interviews really quickly, though. I only got a couple more clips from the interviews. Then we'll get to it. Okay. So John Gilroy is asked about his future with Star Wars, because we know Tony Gilroy is pretty much done with Star Wars after this show. But John Gilroy might not be.
What's the future for you look like? Could you do more in the Star Wars universe? Would you want to?
I'm not sure what my next move is, but I mean, I love the Star Wars universe. I love what we did. So I mean, quality. Doing something of quality is really what I look for.
So people are very concerned about Tony Gilroy because, of course, he is the minds and the big brains behind all that stuff. But they don't really put into account that his two brothers have worked right alongside him this entire process, and that is John and Dan. So even if Tony Gilroy is going to move on to the next thing, well, it's possible that one of the two other brothers will stick around and maybe work on some more Star Wars stuff. It's possible. So there you have it from John Gilroy himself. Okay. Now we got Cyril. And he also talks about how Andor Season 2 is going to drastically change the way that you view Rogue One. So take a look at this.
Luna has said that.
By the way, Cyril with a beard, I'm loving it.
Luna has said that this season will make people see Rogue One differently. Is it because we get so much of that backstory, or why do you think that is?
Oh my God, because you are getting all of the bells, cogs, and whistles to leading up to the choices that were made in Rogue One, and ultimately the choices that are made in A New Hope. So watching Andor and then Rogue One and then the original trilogy, well, like, I can't imagine what that would be like. But the payoff of being with Cassian for 24 episodes and then seeing what happens to him and the choices that he makes in Rogue One, oh my God. I mean, like, super powerful. And you understand what this guy has been through, the sacrifices he's made, and the lives that he's touched. Because what's happening in Season 2 with these time jumps that Tony has created is you are just dropped in at crucial moments in these characters' lives where huge things are happening. And it's all building to the moment that we know at the end of Rogue One. So, I mean...
So, what he's talking about here is, well, first of all, he talks about a bunch of things, but how this is going to affect Rogue One and how critical it's going to be, all these relationships that Cassian has. That does lead me more to believe that Bix is going to die because he's not in Rogue One, and that would be a very emotional thing for Cassian to go through. Obviously, losing his mom and all that craziness that happens in Season 1 makes him join the rebellion, but he still has to become the leader of the rebellion that we see in Rogue One, and the guy who goes on that crazy mission to eventually get the Death Star and die on the Battle of Scarif. But he also mentions, if I rewind it a second here,
with these time jumps that Tony has created, is you are just dropped in at crucial moments in these characters' lives where huge things are happening.
Because of these time jumps, because this 5-season show was dwindled down to a 2-season show, we are now only getting the greatest of the great, the best of the best, the most important of the most important stuff in this second season. That's it. No fillers, no nothing. It's only the best of the best, the most important craziness.
And it's all building to the moment that we know at the end of Rogue One. So, I mean, it's darker, it's more ambitious, it's sophisticated, it's very adult, it's very real. I mean,
so obviously the first season of Andor is more adult. It's adult Star Wars, if you will. And he says it's more dark. Now, we do see Dr. Gorst being tortured in this recent trailer. And we see a lot more, I guess, relationship scenes. The weird, very awkward scene of Cyril and Dedra that we just watched. Of them sort of turning off the lights, if you will. That stuff is obviously more mature, if you will. for a Star Wars show. But more dark to me, I mean, you're massacring thousands of innocent people on Gorman. That's pretty dark. That's a little bit dark, chat. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. But I do think that this second season is going to go down a darker path. We have major characters dying in season 2. Luthen obviously being probably the biggest one, but Bix could die too. And seeing these characters die, these characters that we've fallen in love with, if you will, it's going to be heartbreaking. Like, it's going to be seeing Luthen die, because he's personally my favorite character of the entire series, is going to be tough to watch. It's going to be a heart string puller, pulling on your heartstrings. And that's dark, if you will. Vader is dark too. That's true. Vader comes in and starts snapping people's necks. That's pretty dark as well. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, Kenobi was more of a kid show, if you will. And in Kenobi, even, you see Vader snapping people's necks. Yeah. So that's also not very good. So if you put Vader into Andor, well, think about the craziness that Vader could do, because it's a more, I guess, mature show, if you will. But he continues.
When I watched season 2 back, I was stunned that this was Star Wars. I thought, wow, this is art. This is like an incredibly powerful piece of storytelling. It's unbelievably relevant to now, but also it's timeless. And I think that, yeah, I mean, it's wild.
So he pretty much says the same thing that the Bix's actress was saying earlier too. It's a timeless thing. Like, Star Wars is always to be that way too. It's timeless. You can watch it now. You can watch it in 50 years. You can watch it 50 years ago. And that's sort of where we're at right now. You can sit down and watch A New Hope and still enjoy it. All the themes and messages are still the same today as they were 48 years ago. And that's going to prove the same 40 years from now. And that's why it's awesome. But there you have it. Cyril himself. Okay, I think we have one more. Actually, let's go back to Cyril. So this is pretty funny too. So Cyril gets a promotion in this second season. This is what he tells us.
This season, I mean, he's in a really good spot. As we find out in season 2, he's got a promotion. He's Diego, it's important.
See, you love everything about these guys. The cast is so awesome, and the characters themselves, they're so much like the characters themselves, even, that it's so good. But I will say, this is hilarious. I mean, he's talking about the promotion he gets in season 2. I'm guessing the promotion he gets is because of saving Dedra's life. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. But he says he got a promotion, and Diego Luna starts dying laughing.
Diego, it's important.
Diego, it's important. That's awesome. Okay, so they're just having fun out there, which is the best part. So a lot of interviews. I didn't even get to all of them. I sort of just weeded through the best ones, or the ones I thought were very important. And we watched all of them. I wonder who this kid's gonna be. He does look like he looks so much like Kylo Ren. It's creepy, but yeah, I don't think he's Kylo Ren. Actually, no, he's not Kylo Ren. But with that, we do have the new game. So let's talk about this. We actually have. I don't think we're gonna even be able to get to this. Oh my God. Okay, we might not be able to get to all this stuff, but let's definitely get to this game. So just the other day, this new Star Wars game was announced. Star Wars Zero Company. Now, before we even get to what this game is, let's talk about the real situation that's going on here. Star Wars Celebration is in 3 days. 3 days. Star Wars Celebration, where we're going to get announcements for all these different projects, animated, live action, video games, books, comics, etc. Trailers for all these different projects. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie getting a trailer. Andor probably going to get another trailer. All this craziness. And yet, we sit here 3 days away, and we've already had announced Tales of the Underworld, which we had no idea was coming. 7 other projects, books and things of that sort, a Vader novel and whatever, and this video game, a major Respawn bit reactor turn-based tactics Star Wars video game. All announced before Star Wars Celebration. It's in 3 days. So this makes me believe, even more so, that Star Wars Celebration is going to have an insane amount of announcements, that so much that we need to announce stuff early. That these things, this game, Tales of the Underworld, would have been buried under the greatness that is the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. That is the new announcements for projects that are coming out over the course of the weekend. Those incredible projects and announcements and trailers would bury a Tales of the Underworld show announcement, would bury this game being announced. So they had to do it early so that we would recognize it. We would talk about it. We have enough time to talk about it, and it wouldn't just get lost in all the craziness. So yes, this game is cool. We're going to talk about it. We're going to look at it, check it out. But it's announced before Star Wars Celebration so that it's not lost in the chaos, which means there's going to be a lot of chaos. I do think that the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer will sort of steal the show for the weekend, but who knows? They might announce something so crazy that we just never even could have anticipated, and that might steal the show, but we'll see. Yeah, The Acolyte has like 5 books coming out. 2 of them this year. 3 of them this year, actually. But let's check this game out. So it's called Zero Company. And as you can see here, you got bounty hunters, that's Bo-Katan up there, droids, clones, or used to be clones, some sort of Jedi character there, and bounty hunters and whatever. Join the ranks of Star Wars Zero Company. Recruit the unconventional team of operatives and deploy them on missions unlike any other in the galaxy far, far away in Star Wars Zero Company. Newly announced single-player turn-based tactic game. By the way, talk about single-player. We need multiplayer games. I get it. Single-player games are great. Jedi Fallen Order was great. Jedi Survivor was great. Star Wars Outlaws was great. We need more Battlefronts. Battlefront 3, if you will. But we need more multiplayer games. Because Star Wars is such a community-based thing. Like, so many people want to interact with each other, have fun. Like, all you people here right now. We need a video game where we can do that. Just sort of have fun in Star Wars together. But single-player, turn-based tactic game. Developed by Bit Reactor in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games. The concern here is that Respawn is not focused on the 3rd Jedi game. I don't think that's a concern. Bit Reactor is the company that's making it or developing it, and they're just using Respawn as sort of a bigger company name, I guess. Like, there should be no worries that we're not getting a Jedi 3. Let's just say that. We'll share the first details about the game currently in development to attendees at Star Wars Celebration in Japan. So they're just announcing the game first so that it doesn't get lost in the craziness, but there will be a panel for this game at Star Wars Celebration. Here's a first exclusive look at Star Wars Zero Company with just a few members of the Elite Squad at your command. So just a few members. There will be a lot more members than this. Is this like Mr. Freeze? What's up with this guy over here? Is this Mr. Freeze from Batman? Hang on, let's take a closer look. It is Mr. Freeze from... Is that Palpatine's head? Chat? Is that Palpatine's head? Does this not look like Chancellor Palpatine? Okay. Well, there you have it, Mr. Freeze. But you got him holding a B1 hologram right there. Weird. Badass clone trooper. This is Bo-Katan, or at least looks like Bo-Katan. Droid. Weird Jedi. Okay. Stay tuned. StarWars.com for more details. Panel is on the 19th at 4:30 Japan time, which would be like 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, something like that. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. All I know is it's going to be a long weekend. Not a lot of sleep happening. But, so that's the new Star Wars game that was announced. We do have a little bit of insight on Ahsoka Season 2 as well that I wanted to get to before we get on out of here. So let's take a look at this. Ahsoka Season 2 gets a minor plot detail due to a new book. Last week, Lucasfilm revealed information regarding its upcoming 2025 publishing releases. Buried in the news were some minor plot details surrounding Ahsoka Season 1's more mysterious character, Shin Hati. Played by Ivana Sakano? Sure. We last see Shin marooned on Peridia after parting ways with her master, Baylan Skoll, the late, great Ray Stevenson, as he went on his own side quests to discover the secrets of the planet, possibly Abeloth. As Thrawn and the Night Sisters flee Peridia to enact their sinister plan, Shin is left behind. Our last glimpse of her shows her approaching the encampment of bandits that we saw at the end of the season. She boldly raises her lightsaber, but her intentions are unclear. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it either. Guess there's no picture of that, but it happens. Trust me. In the upcoming Star Wars Women of the Galaxy book, it expands a little more on what happens next. Shin teams with roving bandits on Peridia and resumes her hunt for Sabine and Ezra without Baylan to tamper it. Shin's impulsiveness could lead to challenging scenarios on the far-flung planet where she is stranded. So she's teaming up with the bandits to still hunt down Sabine and Ezra. There you go. 50 Thunder says, somehow I've returned. What's up, 50 Thunder? So this gives us a little bit more information as to what could happen with Shin in Season 2. While not giving away any huge spoilers, it does look like the book might provide us with starting points for Shin Hati's character in Season 2 of Ahsoka. Will she attack Sabine and Ahsoka, Huge Wang, and the others? Will she seek out a team-up with her old master? Possibly go find him and come across Abeloth or something like that? And Abeloth takes over her body because she does look like Abeloth? Possibly. Hopefully, the Ahsoka panel on this Saturday, April 19th, will shed a little bit more light in the direction of this upcoming new season. So, the Ahsoka panel and the Andor panel on Saturday will probably be the two biggest panels of the day. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah. Filming could start as soon as this month, according to reports. A lot of reports say that filming has already begun for Ahsoka Season 2, but the season will be shot in the UK and is set to debut in 2026, but still no set time. Most likely after The Mandalorian and Grogu releases in theaters, which is on May 22nd of 2026. For now, the only live-action Star Wars production that we know is certainly going in front of cameras this year. Although Sean Levy's movie is likely a likely candidate as well, as Kathleen Kennedy has recently revealed that too. So there you have it. A little bit of new information revolving a minor little detail that could be coming in Ahsoka Season 2. Indeed. Yeah. Was Baylan actor announced yet? Yes. I don't know if it was officially announced. Maybe they'll do that on Saturday, but it was sort of revealed that Rory McCann, is it? The guy who plays the Hound in Game of Thrones. He will be playing Baylan Skoll. Yeah. Yeah. Will we see a trailer for Ahsoka Season 2? I mean, it might not be released publicly, but I think they'll do the same thing that we saw with The Mandalorian last summer, where they'll release a trailer to the people there, and that trailer will likely be leaked out to us, but it probably won't be released publicly. Yeah. Yeah. Me too, Adam. Me too. Yeah. But that's a lot of craziness. I mean, from Andor trailers pretty much every day, if not every other day, because a trailer a day keeps the haters away, to all these interviews with the cast and crew, to 4 leaked scenes. Did anybody send me that 5th scene yet? There is one. If there is one, is it in the Discord? Somebody chat. Oh, by the way, if you are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to the People Who Love Star Wars. It's a free, completely free Discord. We see that I saw somebody just joined it. There you have it. Okay. There you have it. Oh, and then there was, yeah, they just announced this Lego. This will come out this year. A almost 3,000 piece Jango Fett Slave 1 ship. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But there you have it. 1 week, chat. Oh, Sigourney Weaver impression. Yes, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So what is she saying? I forget. Scene from Alien when she says, oops. When she says, get away from her, you Bix. Oh my God. I got a bad feeling about this one. I don't even know what to look up here. Get away from her, you alien. See if that comes up. Oh, it does, but here's the thing, I can't really show this guy. Is this the scene you're thinking of? You guys know this? Give me one into the chat if you've ever seen the movie Pacific Rim. Is this Pacific Rim before Pacific Rim? Possibly.
Get away from her, you.
Check out that pausing job, chat. Come on. Okay, sure. Get away from her, you Bix. We're not getting in trouble there, chat. We're not. No. I said the name of a character from Andor. Well, let's not forget Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver will be in the Mandalorian Grogu movie. And that trailer will be released on Friday. Actually, probably Thursday night. But closer to Friday, I guess. Indeed. Yeah, chat. 1 week until we'll be sitting here. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget. Oh, say hi to yourselves in the chat, too. Let's not forget that next week, the live stream that's usually on Tuesday will be on Monday, because on Tuesdays we'll be doing the watch party. So this live stream that we're doing right now will be on Monday next week for our final prediction stream for Andor Season 2. So that will happen on Monday, not on Tuesday. It'll also be like a recap stream for Star Wars Celebration as well. Yeah. It's going to be a crazy one. This might be the craziest week of the year for Star Wars news in terms of Star Wars Celebration plus Andor. Like, it's going to be absolutely chaos. And we're going to do it together. Yeah. We're going to do it together, chat. We're going to do it together. And that secret project I've been working on, I made great strides in it last night. Something that I didn't think was even going to be possible. Yeah, that happened last time. What time will the watch parties be at? So the watch parties will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll start probably at 8:30 or 8:45, just so that we can sort of be here on time type deal. But yeah, absolutely. Oh, there are going to be some long watch parties, Chet. I mean, they're 2 hours of content at least, and then we'll probably go for another half hour at least. So you're talking about 3-hour watch parties. 3-hour long watch parties. I'm going to have to take a nice long nap during the day on Tuesday to get ready for that, because then I'll be up all night doing breakdown videos. It's going to be quite a long 4 weeks coming up, Chet. Yeah. Especially because this weekend at Star Wars Celebration, we're going to have to be up all night because it's in Japan. It's in Japan, Chet. And that's 13 hours ahead. 13. Yeah. So, by the way, 55% of you say yes, you think Vader will be in season 2. 45% say no. But there you have it. Yeah. Okay. I do have to get on out of here. I got to go finish this short for today. But it's a Diego Luna short, so go check it out later on tonight. But I will say, we got to celebrate a little bit today because we did just hit 145,000 subscribers on the channel, which is absolutely insane. Cannot thank you guys enough for that. We got some big things going on this week, next week, the week after, and the weeks to come, because not only is Andor coming out and Star Wars Celebration is happening, but we're working on some crazy secret stuff in the background of the channel, and I can't wait to show you guys, but it is not yet ready, okay? It's not yet ready. So you have to wait patiently. Very, very patiently. I appreciate the congratulations for 145K. If you guys are not yet in the Discord, go join that Discord immediately. If you're not yet a member, think about becoming a member because we have a giveaway coming up soon, which is going to be awesome. And we got some pretty cool stuff coming in the weeks to come. So I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. Smash a freaking like on this stream. How many likes do we have, chat? Am I going to be upset? Am I going to be upset? Okay. Maybe not. Okay. But until next time, may the Force be with you. Always. Oh, yeah. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. 1 week, chat. 1 week. That's it. The wait is almost over. What has it now been, 3 years? The almost 3-year wait is almost over. We are finally getting Andor Season 2 next week. But before that, we got some insane stuff coming with Star Wars Celebration this week. It's going to be craziness. It's going to be absolutely craziness. So until then, hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.